What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if Morbius was delayed to add Andrew Garfield to it. So the rumors are flying online, and I think that's okay. That's okay. We've earned this. We deserve this, and I think it's possible. I really, really do. I don't think it's the most likely, or also, I guess, or the most likely reason for the delay, but I do think reshoots were, or additions, or reworks to Morbius were a big reason, or was a big reason, I don't know grammar, to delay the movie, okay? And the reason I say that, and I said this in other videos, but I'll bring it obviously to this one, is remember Michael Keaton talked about that he was going back to film as Vulture, and he had said that back in early to mid-December. So that means that, okay, unless there's like a secretive thing going on, which I guess is always possible, but I truly believe that he was talking about Morbius, that he was going back to film some sort of additional reshoots for Morbius. That's what I think. That's what I think is the most likely. I guess it doesn't have to be, but I don't know. I'll leave it there, right? So I believe they were doing reshoots, or maybe still are, right now, of Morbius, and that makes sense why the movie was pushed from late January to April. Now, it would be a pretty funny April Fool's joke if they delayed it for the 8th time, and they moved it from April 1st, but I do think, that has to do with it. I really don't think it has to do with running away from the stuff around the world. That could have a part to it, but Spider-Man just got done, or is in the process of finishing up, wiping out the box office while things are, to some people, very dangerous outside, right? And people don't want to go to theaters or whatever. And the movie's going to make, almost $1.5 billion in that circumstance. So, I mean, if Morbius is just a good movie, if there's enough stuff there, I think people will see it, just like Scream, just like Uncharted, just like anything. If it's a movie that really grabs people, I don't think you have to worry too much about the stuff around the world. That's just my personal opinion in terms of like money, in terms of how much it's going to make. So I don't think that was the driving factor. I really think it was trying to change up what Morbius is, or just add a couple fun things here and there. In fact, we also heard, now obviously this is more Sony, and then Doctor Strange is more Marvel, but we heard from Doctor Strange too. What have we heard recently? That they are going to be doing, or they are doing, reshoots to adding cameos that they saw. Again, the success. Now, I am a little worried about that, because to just throw things in just to throw things in, yeah, it's fun on the surface level, but I think it can get to be overkill. And it's actually what No Way Home did so well, is they used the past, but they also respected it, and they grew from it. They weren't just fun cameos that opened a door and said, hey, I'm here, and then you close the door. You know what I mean? So, I guess it maybe has its place in Doctor Strange 2. We'll have to see. I'm not the biggest fan of just throwing in cameos for the sake of it. However, if it's to establish something going forward, that's a different thing. If you're going to establish something in Doctor Strange through a cameo and then do something with it right after, that makes sense. That makes sense. So what does that have to do? So again, that, I guess what does that have to do with it is there's a sense of these cameos, or of these, I guess, surprise things in these movies that we're seeing now. Doctor Strange 2, and most likely Morbius. I think Andrew makes a lot of sense to appear at the end. I think the popular theory running around online, right, is just include him in a post-credit scene for Morbius. You could end Morbius, and then you could have Andrew returning back to the world, and it could be that world. It doesn't have to have been the world that he was in, Andrew. Doesn't have to, I guess, even be the world that Morbius was in. Morbius could very well be in a universe that's just a giant cluster F of, of all of these different things because of the spell in No Way Home. I mean that's very, very possible. In fact, it'd be a pretty easy way to explain why there's things from all of the different. Why is there Oscorp? Why is there this? Why is there Vulture? Right? Why is there all these different things from the 3 different universes? Well, it could just be because all of them kind of folded onto each other. So to connect it to a definitive Spider-Man makes sense. It really does. It makes sense to do it. Now, again, with Vulture being there, maybe the most likely would be Tom, but it doesn't have to be if Andrew appeared at the end. And I guess the only reason I say Andrew is because what we've heard from him in terms of rumors, right, is multiple projects, that he is most likely, or I guess from pretty reliable leakers online, that he's going to be doing more than one thing. Whereas Toby would most likely only do one more thing, and that'll probably be Secret Wars. So I really think you can rule Tobey Maguire out of these fun little... Maybe not. Maybe they can convince him to do more, but I think to just be safe, you could probably rule him out of these fun cameos until a Secret Wars thing in which he would be kind of a bigger part of. But Andrew, you know, if you wanted to throw him as a cameo in Doctor Strange, if you want to throw him as a cameo in Morbius. Now, I don't know if like just doing it to all of them. Again, is that overkill? Does that move to overkill? It very well could, but depends on how you're doing it or what you're doing it. You know, I guess even like order. I mean, at this point, Morbius is going to come out and Doctor Strange is going to come out like what 33, 34 days after it. So you don't even have that much of a difference between the two movies. So I don't know. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense to again connect a Spider-Man. I guess Venom even you kind of did, and then you also didn't, right? Because now you've connected like the goo, like the actual symbiote. You've connected that to Tom, and like Venom, or you know, the Tom Hardy version, right? He was in it, but now he's not. So now really Venom doesn't have a counterpart Spider-Man. You could give Andrew that, or you could, I don't even know, you could just give it nobody. And then Morbius, like, is he in the same as Venom? Is he in the same as this? I mean, it really, there's a lot of options for sure, but I think it makes sense to do it. It makes sense to attach it. It makes sense that reshoots are the reason that it's delayed. It makes sense that it'd be Andrew because of the multiple project thing. You know, again, I'm not saying it's the most likely thing, but the leaks and rumors and word on the streets that we've heard over the last couple of weeks, they certainly, you know, they seem like it could be, at the very least, like it could happen, in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. If you want to follow me anywhere else, I have a second channel. I have a Twitter. I also have Patreon and YouTube memberships. Links for them all are in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.